Welcome to today's webinar. It is part of our Detox Intensive series that are focused on products. Today we are going to talk about probiotics. So over the past 6 presentations, we have learned that a healthy gastrointestinal tract, or GIT, is essential for effective daily detox. GIT enterocyte cells are essential in this daily detoxification process. Enterocytes are a specific type of epithelial cell, which is honestly a skin cell, because your gut is the skin of your insides, just like your skin is the skin on the outside. So it lines your small intestine. These enterocytes absorb nutrients and they contain digestive enzymes. And it's also estimated that about 25% of detoxification processes occur within these very specialized cells. They work to reduce the amount of non-metabolized toxins into the rest of your body. In other words, they're your really huge first defense against toxins that enter through your gut. And they help to dramatically reduce the number of toxins that are introduced into your circulatory system and therefore the rest of your body. And this is what enterocytes look like. On the left, you'll see what are called your villi. These are little, tiny little, almost strands that are very, very small and are loaded with cells that absorb nutrients and also get rid of toxins. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the enterocytes that live inside the edge of this cell barrier. This is your gut barrier, which is extremely important for gut health for a lot of different reasons. And we're going to look more at that right now. So an important component to maintaining a healthy gut are probiotic bacteria. There are 2 main types of gut bacteria that you can have: the beneficial friendly bacteria, or your probiotics, or opportunistic bad guys. We are going to have billions or trillions of bacteria in our gut. That is not at question. The only question to ask yourself is, am I loaded with the right bacteria that promote my health, or am I loaded with bacteria that are detrimental to my health? They are opportunistic. They will come in and take over when your probiotics are low. So your probiotic bacteria, we're going to talk about the specific strains more later. The bad bacteria include Salmonella, Streptococcus, and Helicobacter pylori, which can get into your stomach and lead to ulcers. So let's first take a look at probiotic actions and detoxification as it refers to leaky gut. So dysbiosis is a major cause of leaky gut syndrome, and dysbiosis means the wrong bacteria or the majority of bacteria in your gut. A large amount of the toxins we're exposed to on a daily basis do enter our bodies from our diets or what we drink. If compromised intestinal permeability or leaky gut is present, this allows a greater entry of undesirable compounds from the gut directly into the bloodstream. In other words, what you're eating that isn't good for you, maybe viruses, maybe bacteria, maybe microbes, maybe other toxins, instead of being filtered through your villi and your gut barrier, it's going to be able to get directly into the bloodstream. Many of these can produce toxicity symptoms once they reach a certain threshold, and some are just flat out toxic at any threshold. Leaky gut allows these potentially toxic compounds to bypass the normal process of detoxification that are normally carried out with your gut barrier cells. And let's take a look at how that looks. So on the left, you have a normal gut. And you see the gut has like little hills, and in between those hills, that red dot in the center of every hill is a capillary. And on the top of the hill, it looks like trees. Those are your villi. And the villi are filtering the ingredients that you have come down through the diet that you've eaten, through the drinks that you've eaten. Those villi will filter everything before it gets to your capillary. And you'll see there's a really tight junction. Those hillocks are tightly put together. Now, when inflammation happens and leaky gut begins to occur for a variety of reasons, but dysbiosis is the big one, Now those hillocks are unfortunately wide open. And so the villi cannot protect your body completely from what's coming in. So there's two ways that this can enter your body. It can come through what's called paracellular, which means it goes all the way to the bottom and it hits the larger capillary that's not even inside those little hillocks. It's actually a bigger capillary. Or it can be what's called transcellular, which means it gets into the side of the hillock and then gets down into your bloodstream. And what can go through are both pathogens and food allergens. The pathogens are the ones that in particular can be caught if you have a healthy tight junction gut with the right probiotics. So probiotics help to prevent the reabsorption of toxins as well. So not only does leaky gut allow toxins into the body, research shows it can allow reabsorption of toxin metabolites that otherwise would be eliminated. So we've talked about this process of you do get toxins in your body. Even through the process of metabolism, significantly toxic compounds are produced, and your liver is going to convert those and metabolize those, and then it goes out your urine and it goes through your small intestine through the bile duct to the small intestine and out your anus. You eliminate it through your stool. But it shows that when that barrier is compromised, the toxins that normally would go through that barrier into your GI tract and then bound for elimination, instead, they get filtered back into the bloodstream because that barrier is compromised and it can't do its job correctly. And so on the left, you see you eat something, it goes into your gut, and then here you are with this systemic inflammation, autoimmunity, food intolerances. There's your bloodstream, your lymph vessel. It can get into your system through more than one way when your intestinal cells are not functioning correctly. Other things that can get into your bloodstream outside of toxins that can become toxic, the internal stress of your body creates toxins that now filter back into your bloodstream. Bacteria may filter back into your bloodstream. Food particles may settle down into your bloodstream, which can lead to a lot of circulatory diseases. And of course, medications are very dangerous if they're not properly metabolized. Let's take a look at another detoxification action that probiotics enhance. They help to remove toxic chemicals and heavy metals. Research shows that probiotics assist detoxification by binding or sequestering, which means to hold away, damaging heavy metals including mercury, arsenic, cadmium, and lead. They work via bacterial metal binding interactions, and this is a randomized open-label pilot study of the influence of probiotics and the gut microbiome on toxic metal levels. Pretty interesting information because we deal with a lot of toxic metal contamination in our world. The oceans, unfortunately, are phenomenally toxic. Many of our commercial farmland areas have been exposed to heavy metals for decades. Industrial waste is often laden with heavy metals, and that gets into the drinking water. So we have a real need to have a way to handle heavy metal toxicity. Probiotic strains can bind heavy metals, and they competitively inhibit the intestinal absorption of these metals when they do so. This protects the intestinal barrier. It also, probiotics are known to promote gastrointestinal peristalsis, which is the movement of toxins and waste out of your body, and they modulate your gut microbiome. All of this results in protection. It decreases the amount of heavy metals that accumulate in your body. This helps to alleviate oxidative stress, which is implicated in over 300 different diseases, and then it also helps to mitigate ongoing tissue damage. Some gut microbiota, such as lactobacilli, which is the Acidophilus family, may potentially be an adjunct for reducing metal toxicity in humans. This is because they have resistance mechanisms which are effective in preventing damage to their cells So they have learned to bind and sequester heavy metals to their cell surfaces, and this allows the removal of the heavy metals through regular bowel movements. Fascinating information, and certainly important to us for our detoxification systems on a daily basis. Another probiotic action as far as detoxification is concerned is that probiotics help to create both antioxidant and detoxification enzymes. Probiotic fermentation of prebiotic fiber supports gut integrity by the production and release of short-chain fatty acids, and these are incredibly important for your entire body, but especially for your detoxification system. Some of the lactic acid bacteria, again, those are your Acidophilus family, have also been shown to increase the activity of numerous other antioxidants and detoxification enzymes and substances. These include glutathione S-transferase, glutathione reductase, glutathione peroxidase, superoxide dismutase, and catalase. All of these are incredibly important innate antioxidants. Innate meaning your body will make them because they're really essential for our detoxification systems and to reduce free radical damage in the cells. But they're quite expensive to make. So when you have a gut microbiome that can help provide these incredibly important enzymes, you've really given your bank account of health an influx of health cash, so to speak. So let's take a look at this. Here's your gut, and your microbiome lives in your gut. And then on the left-hand side, you see probiotics. Number one, they help chelate metal ions, which we just talked about, reducing heavy metal toxicity. Number two, they help to create these antioxidases like superoxide dismutase and catalase. Number three, they provide metabolites, including folate and glutathione, phenomenally important innate antioxidants, and vitamins. They create a host of antioxidases that are important directly and only for detoxification, and this is what you see at the bottom of your screen. All of those numbers and letters, they really refer to different kinds of detoxification enzymes. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see that, again, they're hosting metabolites like folate and glutathione, and then they produce other enzymes that reduce reactive oxygen species. Incredibly. So let's take a look at some of the new earth probiotic formulas that support all of this detoxification action. We have Acidophilus, which is just our pure strain Lactobacillus acidophilus DDS1, Bifidus, which is a bifidobacterium that dwells in the lower GI tract, and Spectrobiotic, which is a broad spectrum premium probiotic formulation with 12 different strains. Acidophilus, as I said, is the DDS1. It is specifically formulated for human health, and it has been proven over decades of research to be incredibly effective at colonizing your gut. This is incredibly important. It's not just the bacteria you intake, it's that they're able to colonize and create vast ecosystems of themselves, vast neighborhoods of their families. This is what keeps us healthy on an ongoing basis. Acidophilus is especially important in maintaining our gut barrier and its detoxification and immune health functions. In fact, our gut barrier and our immune health function is really dependent on the Acidophilus probiotic bacteria. And of course, this formulation also contains organic wild microalgae and the prebiotic inulin. These provide the happiest picnic lunch for our probiotic bacteria. A lot of companies will have you buy a separate product in order to get the prebiotics you need. We do not do that. We provide the probiotics with the prebiotics they need to colonize your gut. The second formulation is a pure strain Bifidus bacterium. It is essential for the health of your lower gut in particular. It helps with the elimination phase of daily detox because, as we've talked about, you've got to get rid of what waste your body has produced. If it's just sitting there in your gut, it will recontaminate your bloodstream and make you slow and over time ill. Bifidobacterium are also shown to promote brain health and help assimilate vitamin B12. As I said before, it will contain the wild microalgae and the prebiotic inulin to make sure that they flourish once they get into your system. Spectrobiotic is our premier and unique broad spectrum formulation that contains 12 different strains of premium probiotics, and each is selected for its unique contribution to our internal ecology. They are all proven effective and proven important. The main families, Acidophilus and Bifidus, are really the bottom line of producing a healthy gut. But a really healthy gut is going to have a variety of strains of different types of probiotics. It's like a forest. If you had a forest with only one type of tree, it would not be a healthy forest. It would be easily destroyed. When you have a forest that is many types of trees and shrubs and plants, it's much healthier and much stronger. And so Spectrobiotic creates a gut internal ecology that is all these healthy bacteria, proven to be incredibly important for human health. And of course, we talked about prebiotics earlier. They are so important. Your gut bacteria have its favorite foods, and they really center on fiber, especially certain types of soluble and insoluble fiber. Probiotic bacteria ferment these fibers and create a host of nutrients, including vitamins, short-chain fatty acids, and other nutrients that we really need. And our body's not having to work to get these nutrients. The probiotics are giving them to us in return for us providing them with the food they need. So having prebiotics in our probiotic formulations is an incredible boost to the health of your entire gut microbiome.